This is ContactTalkRadio.com. Consciousness in action. And you are taking action into your consciousness by tuning into Contact Talk Radio.
And on TuneIn.com, Ping.fm, and UpSnap Mobile.
Contact Talk Radio.
Welcome to Transformation with Tara Sutphen. Tara Sutphen is the author of Blame It on Your Past Lives and Soul Agreements. 3 audio CD series, metaphysical meditations, sourcing series, and sleep programming. Tara has also collaborated with Emmy Award-winning Shane Stanley and Marla Maples on numerous DVDs. Tara Sutphen is a master in the psychic sciences. If you'd like to find out more about Tara's work, upcoming seminars, and meditations to help you fulfill your dreams, visit her website at tarasutphen.com.
Welcome to Transformations with Tara. This is Tara Sutphen, and my guest today is Robert Lee Camp. He is the author and he's a master astrologer, and he's discovered an ancient and secret method of determining people's personal destinies. He has a Book of Destiny system, and it is through the Cards of Your Destiny and Love Cards is some of his most notable books. And he continues to teach. And welcome, Robert.
Thank you, Tara. It's great to be here.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Anyway, yeah, Robert and I go kind of way back now. We're
we
friends
kind of go back.
Time.
I think we go back to past lives, Tara, because it's always been so naturally easy to talk to you and just to talk about things.
Yeah. And we've hung out together a couple summers ago. Robert came and hung out at my house for about a week or so. We had a great time.
Yeah, it's very nice.
Yeah.
And we're both astrologers, and we're both into the mystic sciences. It's beautiful.
Yes, it's really amazing. And Robert, I mean, I have to tell everybody, it's really fun. When we just sit around and we're talking, Robert is like, I'm knowledgeable about stuff, but when he's just brings it up and it's just a part of his thought process. I mean, it's incredible to really listen to you and be connected to you as you speak. I really love it. Yeah.
Oh. Well, thanks.
Yeah, the astrology. Because I don't get to talk to many astrologers on any level. Sorry, everybody, but it's true.
I know what you mean, though. Whenever I get to talk to another astrologer, I get so excited. It's like we can speak the same language.
Yeah, it's knowing a language. Yeah, and going further into the theories of things and, what it means maybe and different types of systems. Because there's different systems in astrology that, just Western astrology doesn't cut it, I do Eastern astrology as well. And so, we were tapping all sorts of what does maybe the numbers mean and the minutes and all of it, and Robert's really studied this to such a degree. It's been amazing.
Yeah, I use mostly Western astrology mostly, but I've also, I like to study Vedic astrology just because there are some nuggets of really good stuff there, to use.
Yeah, I've gone more the Arabic route.
Oh, wow. And I don't know anything about that, so.
Yeah, it's kind of fun. That's what I've used a lot with my Western astrology when I'm doing charts and stuff. And it's, it takes me many hours to work up charts, but it's, it's always I'm such a mad scientist in the laboratory. I just love it.
Yes. Well, you're definitely, you're an 8 of clubs, so you're always learning. You'll never stop being a student,
Oh, that's right. My card. My card. I love Robert's system. It's so great. Yeah. Why don't you refresh the audience just how you got into the cards, really?
Well, I started out with astrology, just learning on my own. I was living at a yoga ashram, and I had started doing readings for the first time. And a friend who knew me said, you're into astrology. You might really like to see this book that I have. And it was this book called Sacred Symbols of the Ancients, which was basically the only published book on the card system at that time. And she said, here, look this up and see what you think. And I looked up my birthday in there, and I found out I was a Queen of Diamonds card. And I looked it up in the book, and when I read it, I was just stunned by how accurate it described my life. And it really blew me away because there were 8 birthdays that had my same card. And I thought, this is impossible. This could not be true. How could 8 birthdays all have the same description? But it was so accurate for me that I couldn't like deny it. You know, it was just like, obviously it just nailed me, you know, in the most unflattering way too.
Yeah, we have to, and maybe that's coming to grips, you know, because I always love to see my weaknesses as well as my strengths. Like,
yeah, I mean, she basically said in that book that the Queen of Diamonds was one of the most difficult cards in the deck, you know, and it was true, but I didn't want to admit it at the time, you know. And so anyway, I ran out and got that book, and that began my studies. And within a couple of years, I was utilizing that in my readings and went on from there. And that was like 30 years ago. So.
Right. I love that. You know, what do you mean I'm difficult?
What do you mean my life sucks?
Yeah, no, I don't think difficult means that I think that it's just wanting to have a better understanding of what's going on around you at that moment.
Well, there's a couple of cards that have, they basically show the most prominent past life karma, negative karma, and it's mostly in the area of relationships and money. And that's the 3 of Diamonds and the Queen of Diamonds. So these 2 cards have the largest obvious amount of negative karma to deal with in this lifetime. And I've come to understand that. And the Queen of Diamonds itself, we sit in the Saturn line, like you're in the Jupiter line, right? So how nice is that, right?
Yeah, it has been. I guess.
And you're a Sag, you know, and every card in your life spread is in the Jupiter line. Okay. Yes. Well, every card in my life spread is in the Saturn line.
Oh, okay. But Saturn is really such a teacher, though, in its own way. It can bring up kind of the best of your past lives, I think, sometimes.
Well,
you just don't let the negativity of certain people who come into your life. You don't allow it, you know, because I'm conjunct on my sun, also my Saturn. It's at 26 and my sun is at 18. So
yes, yeah, you have Saturn and Venus conjunct, and they're close enough to Sun too. Mm-hmm. Sure, and Saturn's the lord of your chart because you're Capricorn rising. Mm-hmm. Yeah, so it's prominent for you, this Saturn in Sagittarius.
Yes, yeah, I understand you. I do understand that.
Yeah.
And that's why I think part of my learning process, I always want it to be on a practical level and, you know, so there's kind of good things about that. I don't think it's terrible to be, know, the Saturn stuff.
No. And, you know, your Saturn, let's see, it's pretty well aspected in your chart, actually. I mean, it squares your North Node. That's about it, you know. In my chart, Saturn is part of a T-square with Uranus, Neptune, and Chiron. So, you know, and my Saturn's in Libra. So you can see that there's that relationship karma that Queen of Diamonds have right there, just, you know, displayed in that way. But, you know, I never really felt bad about it. I mean, I always took it on. I tried to be open to what life was trying to teach me and show me. And it has been very difficult at times, but I wouldn't trade this life.
Do I have everybody? Is everybody on the line? Yes. Come on. Okay. Oh, okay. So anyway, yeah, the Capricorn, I believe, you know, and is that mostly the Saturn? We'll have to ask you here in a minute.
I'm back.
You know,
I'm
that
back.
is okay. Okay. We're coming in and out a little bit on our.
I got, yeah, I got disconnected for about a minute there. So what were you asking me? What were you asking me?
Well, we were talking about, like, that Saturn rules your card. And that we were talking about Jupiter and Saturn.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. And about just what the Saturn principles kind of are and what the Jupiter principles maybe are coming. But
yeah, well, people are really, most people, when they learn about astrology, even the cards too, they develop a very kind of negative impression of Saturn right away. Saturn's the bad planet. It's bad luck. It's difficulties. It's terrible things that happen to you. And every year in the cards, we have a Saturn period, and that's when the bad stuff happens. That's when you get sick and so forth. But Saturn is really about learning the fullness of life, because Saturn's, when there's something out of whack in our life, it means that we've become out of balance. We've been focused on one side, but there's another side to it that we're not aware of. And Saturn wants balance. Saturn wants us to have both sides of the equation. So it's not always bad. It's just bad when we've totally ignored one side of the equation. Then we think it's bad,
Right. That's how I figure it. I've always thought of it that way. People have told me the most terrible, astrologers who dabble in astrology, they've told me the worst things about Saturn, and it's just like, my goodness, where do you get this? The thing is that I'm like you. You take the good and the bad of everything, and you mix it up with whatever else is in the chart anyway. There's going to be aspects and different things that temper it or calm it down anyway. And the thing that I've found with Saturn, it's kind of like your past lives that are coming, like past life people that are coming into your life, and past life events that you need to either clean up or that are great gifts. So, it just depends on where they fall and what's happening with all of it.
Usually the Saturn stuff in the card system, the Saturn stuff is stuff that we've ignored and just don't want to deal with. We want to just kind of pretend it's not there.
Yeah.
And then the Saturn period comes along and boom, we can't ignore it anymore. It's like right in our face,
Well, you were with me when I was having some of that.
Oh yeah, that's right. I'm glad to see that chapter's over.
Oh yeah. It's almost over. It's actually almost over. They don't let go.
90%?
Well, maybe 98% actually.
Okay.
I think it's on the last of its little hurrah. Yeah. And whatever their Saturn stuff is. Because I'm not playing the game. The game is, I'm having a great life, great time, have a lot of stuff going on, and a lot of amazing clients, and my work is just, climbing. So I'm into my thing.
That's wonderful.
Yeah.
Wonderful.
Yeah. Now I know.
You have Saturn and Venus together, and Saturn and Venus are friends, in astrology. Like some people would say, oh, that's bad, Saturn and Venus, but that's not bad, Saturn and Venus together.
Yeah, well, I always felt that, it gave me an appreciation for ancient learning and older people that I've known in my life, like, say, Jess Stern, who I was so close to in this life.
Mm-hmm.
That sort of thing. And I had the most wonderful, I have to tell this little story. It's just such an amazing, beautiful story that I source all the time. I'm always sourcing and coming together with just the most interesting, amazing, beautiful people. And I have this client. She's a young, someone in her 20s. And her mom told me the other day that her favorite writer when she was a teenager was Jess Stern.
Uh-huh.
And I was like, it just, blew my hair back because nobody really knows Jess Stern anymore. Wrote Yoga, Youth, and Reincarnation, and it was a, New York bestseller. on the New York bestseller list in 1965. So, yoga, he brought in a lot of that thought process, Eastern thought. He really supported the Yogananda Paramhansa stuff. And so he was a great supporter of that through New York. And he was a journalist for the Daily Sun, I think it was. New York. And so he and I became best friends when I was 21 and he was 64. But we were soul friends immediately. We didn't know why. I didn't even question it, but he questioned it a lot and took me to every seer. And, I just, the whole thing of LA, I went with him to mediums and seances and everything because he wanted to know why we were such good friends. And so,
yeah.
He probably knew. And so when I knew him a span of 24 years, we spent every holiday that we could together. And then he died in 2002. So anyway, so she says my favorite writer is Jess Stern. And then she says my grandfather was best friends with Khalil Gibran, and we have his desk and his pen where he wrote The Prophet. And that's my favorite. I said, oh my God, our two favorite authors. He's one of my very favorite. He's probably my favorite author. And I was like, oh my God. I just thought it was just so cute that one of my clients, it's just that one degree of separation that brings me to some magic. Yeah, I loved it.
It's beautiful.
So anyway, so that's the Saturn thing that I think that works in my life.
And Saturn with Venus is more like they're attracted to older people usually. Mm-hmm. And then when they get older, they're attracted to younger people.
Oh, is that what it is?
Yes, it goes both ways.
Right. Well, I have a lot of young clients and, I have and students. So maybe that's it for me.
Lena has Venus in Capricorn. That's her chart ruler. She's Taurus rising. And she's always had older boyfriends. And I told her, when you get old, you're going to have younger boyfriends.
Well, that might not make you too happy, though, Robert.
No, I won't be around then,
I love Lena.
Yeah, you guys have great connections.
Yeah, she's awesome.
Her Venus is right on your ascendant. Your part of fortune is on her Venus. So there's a lot of great connections you two have.
Yeah, love it.
So, I've been focusing a lot lately on not a new discovery, but been using it more, and that's the decanate ruling card, which you may not be familiar with.
No.
So you know about decanates in astrology, how every sign is divided into 3 10-degree segments.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Yeah.
So we can take from that, once we know the decanate of the sun, we can assign a ruling card to a person based on that. Okay.
Oh, okay.
Now, if you're in the first degrees of a sign, it's the same as your sun card, your birth card. This doesn't change. But if you're in the second or third decanate, you have another ruling card. And your decanate is in the second decanate of Sag, which is Aries. So your decanate ruler is the 10 of hearts. So that would actually explain a lot about what you're doing in your life, because I see you being a 10 of hearts. I see you being out there in the public and doing all these things.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Oh wow.
Yeah.
So
and I find also that the decanate ruler is very significant for relationship connections with other people, and also for looking at the yearly spreads of the decanate ruler for what's going on in your life. It's very, very insightful in my experience.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. So what is yours?
Mine is a Jack of Clubs.
Okay.
Yeah, awesome. I'm a Scorpio, which I wondered, I would meet these 10 of Clubs people, like clients and friends, and they always liked me. And I couldn't figure out why, because their card is so far removed from my card. The Queen of Diamonds and 10 of Clubs are so far from each other, they don't share any kind of connections.
Right.
But there was always this connection with 10 of Clubs people. And when I realized I had a Jack of Clubs decanate ruler, it all fell into place. I was like, that explains it. you know.
Yeah. Right. And Jack of Clubs is kind of a magic, isn't it? Tell me about the Jack of Clubs.
Well, Jack of Clubs, it's good and bad, okay?
Mm-hmm. Well, that's everything.
Yeah, it's very, very smart. Super smart and super creative, but also very stubborn.
Yeah, but that's you. That's you.
Yeah, definitely. And, very, very, very like mentally fixed about certain ideas. And I really have been working on that, honestly, the last couple of years, letting go of some of my concepts, which I felt so good about defending for so long. But now I don't feel like it's worth it anymore. Like, it's okay. You know what I mean? Like, I don't need to be Mr. Right about everything like I used to,
Yeah. I feel that way too, though.
Do you?
Oh, yeah.
It's much better. Life is much easier just like letting everybody have a say-so.
Yeah. Well, it gives you more time to do your creative process.
Mm-hmm.
And do tour. I don't know. I don't tap into people's, unless they're my clients. I don't really tap into their personal history much. People will want me to, but I don't do it.
You might want to start looking at people in your life now and seeing if they connect strongly to your Ten of Hearts. Like, for example, just on the top of my head, Jack of Hearts people and Nine of Hearts people. You're very strongly connected to those because you're a Ten of Hearts ruler. So you might go down your list of people and see if there's any Jack of Hearts or Nine of Hearts people in your life that are significant.
Mm-hmm.
It would make sense that there would be.
Yeah, I can't wait to look. So Ten of Hearts. What exactly does Ten of Hearts kind of mean?
Well, Ten of Hearts is. It, at its very essence, it means a large group of people, like an audience, or it can be like a class or classroom, or it can be a church gathering. So Ten of Hearts people generally keep themselves surrounded with people. They like to have people around them a lot, like a family, like a large family, or an organization, or whatever, groups. So it's a perfect card for like a teacher or a performer. Like Michael Jackson was a Ten of Hearts. Lady Gaga is an Eight of Clubs, Ten of Hearts. She's an Aries, Eight of Clubs. There's so many Ten of Hearts that are performers. It's amazing. There's just so many of them. Most of them females. So it's also it has the first karma card of the Jack of Clubs, so it's extremely smart also, like the Jack of Clubs. You know what I mean? There's this intellect there. Like a lot of Ten of Hearts people have photographic memories, just like Jack of Clubs people do.
Yeah, that's mine. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. So you'll see that in both the Jack of Clubs and the Ten of Hearts.
Wow.
And the Ten of Hearts has a second karma card of a Five of Spades, which is like, that's like a Sagittarius influence, like somebody that loves to travel and loves to like have two homes at the same time so they can go back and forth.
Oh, right, which I did for many years. Yeah.
I bet, yeah. Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And I've known Five of Spades people that did that. They would have at least two homes so they could just travel back and forth and never have to be stuck in one place or the other.
Right. Yeah, well, I mean, I do that now. I mean, I have a stationary place that is basically mine, but I'm not really there ever. I mean, I'm in my homes of my friends where we all, we go to all the different homes. Yeah. So it's kind of a...
Sounds a little nomadic there.
Nomadic. Almost oddly nomadic. Yeah, it's oddly nomadic. But we feel we're all family, so we.
Yeah,
I'm part of groups.
That must be some kind of an LA thing, because I have other friends in LA that they basically live like that. It's just like, whose house are we going to gather at today?
Right. I have one client, and she runs such an amazing business, and it's like just it's God central. I mean, it's just so beautiful to see. Everybody's just well paid and doing a great job in their different careers, and they come in and out of this woman's life, and it's actually so beautiful to watch.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
That sounds
Fun.
nice.
Yeah, it's so nice. I mean, the flow of it, and that she's able just to easily create that is
Uh-huh.
yeah, but it's mostly women, and it, you know, there's some men, but it's just so wonderful to watch.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's very Aquarian. And, you know, you got all these planets you have. You got 5 planets in the 11th house.
Yes.
so,
I know.
so you're like as much Aquarius as you are Sagittarius.
Yeah.
Seriously.
It isn't that wild. I know.
I mean, and most of them are trined by Uranus.
Yeah, which is, I want unusual thought, and maybe that's where the occult and esoteric thought really
that's how the astrology comes from, and your studies, and absolutely.
Yeah, forward thinking. I want, you know, and it's like, not, and it's just wrangling the future. You know, I don't really care what the future brings, other than we are creating a great future. Like, you're stepping into your better self instead of like carrying around, you know, any sort of karma or past people who are tripping you up. You know, you go forward, past all.
Yeah. You know, I think Aquarius people and Aquarius energy always has an interest in the future more than other signs, you know. Like, a lot of people say, I don't really care about the future. But Aquarians, I think, are always looking ahead going, wow, I can't wait to see what's going to happen, you know. Like, it's like with technology and things of that nature. I mean, I've always been that way. In my chart, Lord is Mercury, and it's in the 11th house. And I just feel like I've always been a future type of person my whole life. You know?
Yeah, speaking to groups as well, you know?
Yeah, groups, and like what's new, how's the universe evolving?
Yes. Oh my gosh. Yeah, and just what is the future for our planet?
Yeah,
and
exactly.
I felt with my psychic ability, you know, when people were talking about the 2012 demise and stuff, I had a teen class, and I knew that they would all be, you know, amazing people as they were growing up. And of course they're amazing.
Yeah.
All my teens that were through my class, because they started getting out of their own way. That's what I felt psychic ability does for people. It makes you less conscious of people and their idiosyncrasies and their problems, because you're picking it up. You know, it's actually saying something nice to somebody as you pick up their sorrow or their sadness, instead of pushing them down or feeling that it's you.
Yeah.
And,
well, you got a good mixture of both the psychic and the intuitive in your chart, and I distinguish those two. Like, psychic is more Neptune stuff, you know, like Piscean, like you pick up on, you hear voices. You have that, but you also have so much Aquarius, which is the I know sign. You know, it's like you just mathematically you calculate it instantly, and you know the answer. You know, so you have a very nice balance of those two.
Yeah,
and it shows in your work. You do both kinds of work at the same time.
Yes.
Like I don't do the psychic stuff at all. My gift is in the intuitive, like the Aquarius area, you know.
Yeah, I really love to, that's part of the process that I do a lot, is tapping in, asking my guides, because I do have that connection to the other side. You know, will you undo that? You know, is it doable? Can we undo that? You know, there's a lot of that kind of stuff that I do while I'm with a client, that I know that other therapists, you know, I mean, I'm definitely a futurist that way.
That's cool. So do you do like any kind of ancestral work with people too? Does that come into play?
What do you mean ancestral work? Like,
well, like, you know, like things going on in their life now is because of things that happened with their ancestors, or there's an ancestral influence that's at play in their life right now.
Yeah, or their lineage and their past lives. Yeah, it's either or. Yeah,
okay.
It's definitely the disconnection from guilt, because, you know, even a teacher not meaning to say something to you that, you know, put it into your mind that you know, that you're less than. And so, it's undoing a lot of that where I catch it. I'll catch things where, your parent doesn't want you to be an actor, but they were in, they were a exec for NASA type of, let's just say that. And so therefore they can be unrealistic and absolutely, think that space is an answer, but you can't be a performer because that's too flaky. It's that sort of thing. Like where do you take this and say, okay, now there's been way too many mixed messages where we're going to clear this up.
Yeah. That's cool. That's very cool.
Yeah.
So where are you at in your life? Like, what do you see happening for you in the next 2 to 3 years? I'm looking at your cards here. I'm just kind of curious how you see things.
Oh, I love it. But, we should take a commercial break. Because, Robert, the phone lines are down due to the rain in the Northwest. So,
I'm aware of that,
Yeah. No, I'm telling the audience so that they know we're not taking callers really this morning, but we're just having it's so much fun. But let's take a commercial break. I am talking to Robert Lee Camp. And you can find him at 7thunders.com, and it's 7, the number, Thunders, THUNDERS.com, and we will be right back. You are listening to Transformations with Tara.
Welcome to Transformation with Tara Sutphen. If you'd like to find out more about Tara's work, upcoming seminars, and meditations, visit her website at tarasutphen.com.
You've listened to the shows on CTR, and perhaps you've found yourself thinking, maybe I should host my own show, but I don't know how. It's easier than you think. From the beginning with private coaching sessions to your own live broadcasts, CTR Network will prepare you on every level to share your knowledge, expand your brand, and take your business to the next level. At CTR, we nurture your vision and make it a radio reality. Contact Cameron Steele at 425-221-3646 or Cameron at ctrnetwork.com and put your dream into motion today. Want to become a member of an amazing and fun group of individuals? Then you need to join the Contact Talk Radio Network. When you join Contact Talk Radio, you join our social network, where you can chat with the show hosts and other members, post pictures, even videos. When you join Contact Talk Radio, you receive exclusive information about our shows, events, and all the latest happenings. When you join Contact Talk Radio, you become a member of our team, blazing a trail to greater understanding of the world we live in. Signing up takes less than a minute, and boom, you're in. Don't wait. Come join us. Visit contacttalkradio.com now and click Sign Up.
Welcome to Transformation with Tara Sutphen. Become involved now by calling 877-230-3062.
Welcome back to Transformations with Tara. This is Tara Sutphen, and I'm talking to Robert Lee Camp. He is an author and master astrologer, and you can find Robert at 7thunders.com, 7thunders, THUNDERS.com. Welcome back, Robert.
Great to be here.
Yeah. So you were saying something about me, and we can go there first, I guess.
Okay. Yeah. Well, I was just kind of curious, I'm looking at your cards, and what I see here is I see more development of your work. I see you this year. You got these double tens this year. You have a 10 of hearts and 10 of clubs, long range in your ruling card spread. So this is definitely broadening your influence. I mean, I'm not sure if you're thinking of publishing another book this year, but this is definitely about getting the word out in a bigger way about your work.
Yeah, I have one at the publisher now, but we'll see. Yeah.
Uh-huh. Yeah.
Yeah,
Well,
but I think in all areas, I'm going to really, yeah.
I think that's going to be successful. I really do.
Good. Thank you.
And I mean, there's nothing really bad here that I see, except that you'll be working too hard, but you kind of do that anyway.
I do that anyway, yeah. That's been my MO for the superwoman status. But, I really believe that you create your own life, and I've created such great families and great students and great, I'm in great company at all times. And I really feel that's a part of the creation. I need some downtime where I really need to focus on relaxing and regrouping.
Yeah.
But, I just was, I got really sick a week or so ago, 2 weeks ago, and I meditated it away. I'm learning new techniques of meditation at such a deep level that I had this terrible chest cold. And my doctor friend, he was like, "Oh my God, I need to give you some antibiotics before I get on this plane," type of thing. And I said, no. And he was giving me some kind of ibuprofen. And I was just because I don't really take anything. And
Sure.
So he just vitamins, and so he was trying to give me that. And I said, well, no, I don't. And he said, yes, you have to. So he gave me 2 ibuprofen. And so I was, I just meditated. The next day I decided, okay, and it was all the way down in my chest, and it's green, and I was just really sick, and I said, no, I'm going to do where I sonically connect to the earth, and I'm going to meditate on this and see if I can, cure it. And sure enough, it was gone. Within hours.
That's
it was
awesome.
gone. It was really awesome, and I can't wait to teach everybody to do it. I just, but it's just part of my learning process. I have this billionaire client, and he's so incredible that I've been studying his energy every time I take him down into meditation.
Uh-huh.
Yeah, because everything desires him on an energy level. And it was just well, what is this, And so I love studying that part of the process. Where can I just help so many people by allowing them also to connect to that energy field, whatever it is, to take them in trance, to get them there, and then they work it.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that's beautiful. That's beautiful.
Yeah, anyway, so that's one of my
Nice.
I'm always finding new things that I'm excited about that doesn't necessarily hit the general public. This is our occult following, and where the students, it's not everybody who's going to be able to, like this or like it, at all.
Yeah. Yeah, no, but I've discovered that I used to basically hide behind the card system, hey, look at the card system, but don't pay attention to me. And I realized a long time ago, I don't know, maybe 15 years ago, that people were actually coming to me for me, not for the cards themselves. And I think it's the same for you. People are coming to you, for your energy, for your commitment, for what you love, for all that. You know what I mean? Not so much exactly what you do, but it's the energy that you are about what you're doing.
Well, yeah, and to reverse some of those kind of negative aspects, I just always wrestling with people as far as, let's wrestle with this energy a little bit and get back into it. A flow, you got to get on track. You can't be in a negative and expect. Now, see, that's interesting that you say that, because, a lot of people who want to be famous are invisible. and they keep secrets, and they're invisible in every area of their lives. And it's like you can't be someone who is seen in a public arena and be invisible. It's not possible. You have to get there first, and then you can, bring it back down. But you have to be a visible person at that point. So that it's about not contradicting ourselves. That's what I do a lot. Is like okay, I acknowledge a contradiction and say, okay, well, let's change that, and let's work on gifts instead of working on that we need to change a certain circumstance. Well, no, we're on the adventure. We should really step into the adventure.
Yeah. When I hear you talking, Tara, I can hear all the Sagittarian energy in you. It's like always expecting things to be good. And why aren't things good?
Right. Why aren't things good?
And that's what you bring to people. You bring to them like this, like you live in this world where good things are always happening to you, and you expect them to be that way.
Oh, yeah, I expect magic.
5 planets in Sagittarius? Oh, my God. And 2 others in the house of Sag, Jupiter and Neptune, okay? I mean, so it's like I can see that's what you bring to your clients more than anything, I think, is that you bring to them that, like, hey, life doesn't have to be hard. It can easily be good. Why not?
You're right. And then I know that life can be hard. I mean, that does happen to everybody.
Yeah.
There's but it's a learning curve. I always say it's a learning curve. Let's get on with it.
Yeah.
For sure.
So I see some significant 5s in your cards this year too, like Pluto, for example. You got a couple of 5s. And so I think there's going to be some changes this year for you, like more some kind of like I think you're going to not want to live where you live now, even at some point. I think by your Mars period, like sometime in March or April of this coming year, you're going to start really feeling like you want to be somewhere else as far as a living situation and things about your work. There's going to be expansion, I believe, but also like letting go of things that you really don't like anymore about whatever you're doing. Does that make sense?
Yes. Well, and I am. I'm trying to buy a house right now. So
okay.
Yeah. So I am in a whole different area. So
it's going to happen. That's going to happen. Yeah. So it's just part of the process. But overall, this is like I don't see any problems at all in your cards at all.
Thank you.
This is not going to be one of those torturous years.
No, thank goodness. No, and I don't know when my Saturn return's coming back in, but I know it's not too.
Saturn is about 8 degrees of Sag right now, so it's got 10 degrees to get to your Sun. I give it a year.
Yeah, about a year. That's what I thought too.
Well, actually, that's when it crosses over your Sun. Actually, your return won't be for probably 2 years, actually.
Yeah, maybe.
The actual return, yeah. Mm-hmm.
But even then, my last return, I had Hunter and Cheyenne through my last return, and it's like they're part of my greatest love. So,
I'm kind of curious because you're Capricorn rising and you're already ruled by Saturn, okay? So Saturn going over all your Sagittarian planets, I just have a feeling that's going to bring you more success.
Yeah. See, I don't think it is a bad thing at all. I mean, and it did bring me success. It brought me, I was studying so wonderfully those years of astrology and the occult in every way, so yeah, I agree.
Yeah. So Saturn, when it's crossing over, conjunctions of Saturn are not necessarily bad. Squares are, considered difficult, but conjunctions usually are just like we get really more serious about what we're doing and we bring things into form. We materialize things more under that influence.
Right. And that's where I think Saturn is really, and maybe that's just it. You work harder sometimes in Saturn because it is a manifestation. Yeah. It's about manifestation.
And I see that in your cards. You got the manifestation cards in your Saturn period this year, 10 of clubs, King of clubs. So it's definitely going to be a year of manifesting. And it will be, like I said, the only problem is you might work too much at times. But I think you can keep an eye on that.
Yeah. Yeah, I'm hoping. So now let's talk about Cameron. Our sweetheart.
Is it Cameron?
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay, good, Cameron. So same as I was saying earlier, off camera or off mic. Same birthday as Matthew McConaughey, 3 of Diamonds, Scorpio. And 3 of Diamonds is that other hardest card in the deck that I talked about earlier. So there is a certain amount of relationship karma that you've had to endure in this lifetime. But your other 2 cards, the 7 of Diamonds and the 2 of Hearts, very, very, very strong values around relationships that actually helps you not go through a lot of that stuff. You know, like 7 of Diamonds, for example, that makes you really committed to those that you really love. Like you're there for them. Like you'll do anything for the people that are really close to you. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Now that's not true for all 3 of Diamonds people, but it is true for the Scorpio 3 of Diamonds. Okay. And because of that strength of that commitment that you have inside, that like really erases a lot of the negative relationship karma from your pattern. Okay. And then you have this 2 of Hearts card, which I call the sweetheart card. And my best friend is a 2 of Hearts ruler like you. And he and I have this great relationship. And that's what he likes. He likes that one-on-one with people. Not so much group. It's like certain people.
Yeah, I don't mind being in a group, but within the group, I only want to talk to 1 or 2 people at a time. Like
yes.
If I'm just socializing.
Yes.
Yeah.
And my friend Joseph, when he goes to a movie, he's going to the movie to find out if it's any good relationships in the movie. You know what I mean? Yeah. He'll come back from Star Wars and he'll say, well, it wasn't that good because there was no good relationships. Or he'll say it was great because of this father-son relationship or whatever. Not just intimate relationship, but any relationship, you know, father-son or mentor-mentee, anything. That's what he likes the most as a 2 of Hearts.
Yeah.
Interesting. Wow. Yeah.
Yeah, Cameron is the best that way.
Oh,
Your family, oh my goodness. Love them so much. Yeah.
You're gonna come into some money in March this year, Cameron. Good money.
Oh, good.
Oh, thank God.
Praise the Lord.
Praise the Lord on that one. Absolutely. Lord knows we need it right now.
Yeah, it's coming. Don't be too worried about it.
Okay.
Yeah, it's just the flow.
Yeah, so the main gift of any 3 is their creativity, and I'm sure you bring a lot of that into your work.
Yeah.
Aspect, ideas.
As creative as possible, for sure.
Yeah, ideas and like 3s never run out of like ideas. They never run out of like solutions to problems, or they're just so resourceful. The 3 and some of the greatest artists in this world have been 3s. They just see something and then they go, yeah, but that's nice, but what about you add this to it, or add that to it, or do it this way, or turn it around backwards. They just keep taking what is and adding to it and making something new out of it.
Interesting. Okay.
That's the gift of the 3.
Huh. I like it.
I like it.
Thank you.
Yeah, you're very welcome.
Thank you very much. I appreciate it.
Yeah. No, I'm glad to meet you. You're my karma card. You're the one I have to give to.
Aw, that's great.
Thank you.
Yeah, we all each have a karma card that we have to give to, and one that we receive from, and you receive from me, and I give to you. So there you have it.
Very nice.
Right.
Well, I'll take that 100%.
That's wonderful. Now, what is mine? What is mine?
Well,
given?
the 8 of Clubs doesn't have it, but the 10 of Diamonds gives to the Queen of Clubs and receives from the Queen of Spades. So there's not many Queen of Spades out there.
Yeah.
Your
Yeah,
10
my
of
son is a King of Spades. I have a King of Spades child.
Yeah. Well, that doesn't quite qualify, but that does make you moon to your son, which is really awesome for him.
Yeah.
It's the best karma it's the best karma of all for a child to have their mother as their moon card.
Oh, really?
That's the best karma you can have as a child, is to have your mother as the moon, because that's what the moon's role is to be the mother. See?
Oh, yeah, no, we're best friends.
So your ten of hearts will give to the Jack of clubs and receive from the 5 of spades.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's how that works.
Okay, awesome. Now, yeah, and then Cheyenne is 7 of clubs.
Yes.
April 27th. And then Hunter is June 2nd. Yeah.
So Cheyenne, by the way, you're sitting on her card this year. Are you guys still working together a lot?
Yeah, and we want to work with more.
Okay. Yeah.
Yeah.
So
is that showing it?
Yeah, it's showing that you're going to have to kind of let her lead the way more this year.
Okay, good.
And it's taking you to this. You're coming to the pinnacle with your 10 of hearts. Next year will be your pinnacle year for the 10 of hearts. So really, this is the time for you, Sarah, where you're going to reach. This is probably one of the highest places you'll be in your life is going to be in the next year or two, next 2 years, really.
Okay.
So you're right on track with all this.
Right. Now, yeah, she's, I have to brag just for a second. She's been accepted into a school where only 36 students in the whole world have been accepted. It's a really incredible class. Yeah. And so she's doing college right now, but yeah, she wants to work full time with me. So it's awesome. Yeah.
And what's her birthday? I forget.
April 27th, 1988.
So she's a Taurus.
Yeah, she's a Taurus.
Okay. So she's a 7 of clubs and a Queen of spades.
Oh, she's my Queen of spades.
Yeah, there she is.
Okay, so what am I?
That's the one you received from.
Oh, I receive such great love. That's for sure.
Well, yeah. So you guys are kind of all karmically tied together here.
Oh, big time, yeah.
Well, in general, you're the leader of this relationship because she's a 7 of clubs, you're an 8, so you lead. Mm-hmm. It's just that this particular year, you have to sort of listen to her more than you would normally. That's all.
Okay, awesome. I like
that. Yeah,
she does have great ideas. She is amazing.
I bet she does, and she's a hard-working girl, I'm sure, with that Queen of Spades.
She is. Mm-hmm.
Her boyfriends will probably complain, hey, you work too much.
Well, she's with a Hefner, and he's actually the worker bee of the Hefner boys. So
no kidding.
Yeah.
Oh, wow. Cool. That's very cool.
Yeah,
very cool.
So, yeah, she's doing good.
Oh, that's great. Well, yeah, and 7 of clubs, they have the 8 of diamonds karma card, so they all want to achieve some reputation, fame in their lifetime.
Yeah, she's very ambitious. There's a she got the best of her dad and I, for sure. She's really well. Yeah, so we don't have really too many more minutes left. I'd like to ask more about the other kids, but we'll do that next time.
Okay. Well, this was fun.
I just love hanging out with you. Thank
you. I hope I get to visit you sometime in the next year. Mm-hmm. Just so we can sit around and talk for a little bit. We never really got to I didn't feel like we got enough talking done, you and I.
I agree. I didn't think we did either. I was in a real kind of weird situation that week that Robert was down. So,
Yeah, we were traveling. We didn't really have as much time,
Right.
So I'm hoping someday we have this complete conversation. I don't know. I don't know what it's going to be about, but
yeah. Well, I'd love to show you some of my deeper techniques and everything, because there's so many people who wouldn't understand them, but of course you would love it, and I would love just anything that you talk about with me.
So maybe we'll come out and visit you later this year, next year.
Yeah, that would be wonderful. I would love it.
All right.
Even before that, I'll be in New Zealand for a month in March to April, and then I'm in Brazil next month. But but after that, come see me.
We will, Tara.
Okay,
Thank you for
love.
Thanks for having me on your show.
Yeah, always. It's just such a pleasure. Hey, blessings, everybody. The full moon is next week, and also Christmas. You will, I will get a lot of articles out this week. Lots of love, everyone.
Thank you for sharing your time with Tara Sutphen. Find out more about Tara's work, upcoming seminars, and meditations to help you fulfill your dreams by visiting her website at tarasutphen.com.